And welcome back into the Sporting Lounge. Thank you so much for joining us. Grab a beer, kick up your feet. We're going to talk a lot of fantasy. We had game last night, the first one of the NFL season. Stoked for it, especially if you're a Lions fan. The hype might be real. They won. I was impressed. It was a good game. Then again, missed the two key people. Kelsey and Jones out there, totally different score, in my opinion.
Real quick, before we get too deep into that, I saw this video earlier on TikTok. It was a dude who posted help wanted signs, wide receiver tryouts for Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs.
They need
no experience necessarily needed. Prefer not to drop, dislike drops and all that. That shit was hilarious though. I had me rolling.
Dude, Kadarius Toney has me over here pulling my hair out. 5 targets, which is a good amount from Patrick Mahomes to start off a season.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he played the most amount of snaps for the receivers.
Yeah, but he got only 5 targets and only caught one of them. He was trash. I watched him. He didn't look like he could create separation. He didn't look like he could catch the ball. He looked like concentration drops. He looked like he was second-guessing himself every step of the way, which is not what I need.
Didn't he drop the one that caused a pick six, that led to the pick six?
Yes.
Yep.
That cost him the game.
So,
or at least in the end.
We just kind of open it with this. This is a subject we were going to get into while we hear winners and losers week 1. Obviously, loser number 1, Kadarius Toney.
Big time.
I would say kind of the whole wide receivers for the Chiefs as a whole.
Yeah, because you can't say Sky Moore did good. You can't say... Rashid Rice looked good as a rookie, but it was only for 40 yards. So it wasn't like electric either. You weren't blown off by a rookie.
Because none of the receivers really got a significant amount of work. I believe MVS got the most, I think, but Kadarius Toney got the most targets.
Watson for 2 for 45. Noah Gray 3 for 31.
Yeah.
I think we can circle right on in where it was bad, and Kadarius Toney is where it was bad.
Yeah, 1 for 5 at the NFL level from Patrick Mahomes. Not just these were uncatchable. They were good balls. Well, he just didn't come up with them.
And it was Kadarius Toney that dropped the pass. I think it was 3rd and 15 or whatever, something like that. When the Chiefs got the ball back, their very last time, and he dropped that wide open pass. So it's and then after that they had two back-to-back penalties.
Now at any point, here's the thing that was scary about Kadarius Toney though is he was getting separation, he was looking good. Just you need to finish that play. So I think that he's still a good fantasy value. Just he's a big loser this week.
Yep.
I'm gonna still hold on to him because this wide receiver room is so not sorted unless they trade for someone. There's still a chance halfway through the season he does say, hey, I am going to be the guy, and goes 5 for 100 and a touchdown, and then just keeps going. Is it likely? No.
I think it happens 2 times this season, but you're going to have to guess when it happens.
Exactly.
It's really going to be Kelsey or nothing.
Yeah.
He's kind of like how we are with the Ravens, or at least last year, in terms of Mark Andrews or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
On that passing offense. It's same thing with the Chiefs this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my number 1 winner this week is, I know I just got at you for saying wide receiver core, but I'm going to say number 1 winner this week in my eyes was Detroit's rushing attack.
It was a very good rushing attack.
The thing is, David Montgomery controlled that fucking game. His stats don't reflect how dominant he actually was. Because you're looking at 21, 74 yards, 3.5 average. Yeah, that's nothing sweet. But the way that he was just grinding the ball down. And Jahmyr Gibbs was showing shades of Sanders, if you know what I mean. With wearing a 2-8 jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a 2-0 in a Lions. Making it all these defenders just miss. It was spectacular.
Yeah, he had 6 broken tackles.
Yep. I was just so impressed with that performance because, we're talking about a true 1-2 punch right there. A dominant one.
That's going to be good.
They controlled that game. They had smash mouth football, controlled that game, won it. What you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing nothing that we haven't seen from David Montgomery before. But I know you said the Detroit Lions, the rushing attack was, but I'd say the offensive line more than anything really carried them through. And then the defense came up big.
That they were my number 3 winner this week.
They were going to be on my
O-line.
Yep,
yeah, the Detroit Lions offensive line.
I'd kind of put them above. For the Lions, I'd say their O-line definitely for me is the number 1.
Oh, it may be surprising, but I had their O-line as number 1 as well, Austin. My number 2 was Sam Laporta, actually. Just because as a rookie, most of the time rookie tight ends, they take a while or be, especially for Detroit, they don't work out like ever. So I was very happy that 5 for 5 for 39, it's not going to light up the stats, but he's a rookie. This was his first chance against a real NFL defense. So that was awesome to see. He was involved. He was used in several different sets. And my third one, people aren't always going to agree with, but Isaiah Pacheco in his receiving work. Because the ground game, 8 carries, 23 yards, that's not great. We know that. Because CEH had 6 carries for 22. But the receiving work shows me that they, everyone was like, oh, McKinnon's the receiving back. And I didn't have faith in that. He had 2 targets, 1 catch for 10 yards. Pacheco had 4 for 31, 4 for 4 for 31. So I think he's going to be versatile. And you know what? They might use CEH as the Potter, the in-between the 20s guy, and use Pacheco as the third down back. But third down back in a Kansas City offense, count 4 catches and 30 yards. You're looking at 7 points right there. You're just hoping he splashes the end zone. That's a flex play for most leagues.
It's a bad day when your quarterback is the leading rusher, unless you're like Justin Fields or Lamar Jackson or
something. I want to circle on that Lions.
I think
my number 1 and number 3 pick, because I want to talk about the offensive line. They were dominant. Like there was times where I was just seeing, they just looked like a wall just walking forwards at times.
Sam Laporta did very good too.
But that was exclusively on rushing. That was exclusively when you were seeing the ball being carried on the running offense. That brings me to my number 2 point, my number 2 winner. Since we're here anyways, the Chiefs' defensive line. How much pressure they were getting on Jared Goff was ungodly. And that's why the Lions' offensive line is a little bit lower for me. They were dominant in the run game, and that was the Lions' game plan going into the game. They wanted to play smash mouth football. They wanted to walk, and they controlled the ball for over 33 minutes. That's a significant amount of time.
Lost that. Yeah. What we're saying about the defensive line. Hold on. I know we kind of got interrupted. Not to kind of move you too far from your point, but do you think this is kind of would make the Chiefs want to re-sign Jones even more?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost
that was my one question.
The Lions at the very beginning. Yeah, I think their defensive tackle did do good. I can't think of his name. But he had a pretty solid game, but not the type Chris Jones would have had.
Here's the thing let's circle back to what you and I were talking about, Austin. The thing is with Jones is I think he wants to stay in Kansas City though. I think he wants a check, but he's like, I'm willing to take the discount because you could get another 2 or 3 rings before he retires. That's realistic.
Yeah.
Are you willing to lose a couple $1 million right now so you are a fucking 6-time Super Bowl champion? The anchor of the Kansas City dynasty? He could have that title. And that title is going to be worth more in 20 years than that $2 million he would have gotten right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he took a deeper cut to stay with the Chiefs for that exact reason. He's built a culture there. And I think he wants to keep it. We've seen it with J.J. Watt. T.J. Watt got a big payday, but he timed it at a time where, he was the highest paid linebacker at some point, but it's just okay, he's just paid well. We see it consistently with teams that are in contention. When J.J. wanted to stay with the Cardinals after that playoff run, and he took that shitty contract and then he got pissed about it because they were ass the next season. Like, yeah.
I mean, the Chiefs got plenty of cap room too this year and next year as well to make something happen. Because next year they got $52 million. This year they got $13 million currently as it stands. So I mean, they definitely got enough space that if they like back end or backload the contract if they wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, Mahomes' deal is looking a little cheaper now after all these number one QBs keep breaking the record.
Yeah, he's still making like 45-50 million a year. So
oh yeah, he's still top paid. But I'm just saying, now that we're looking at it, technically his contract's a little bit of a discount. Plus, his is a 10-year deal, whereas like Burrow's is a 5. So they do have more wiggle room to like load contracts where they need it to be to help out. So I think it was smart for them to lock him up for 10 years. I think it was smart for him to say, I know I'll be cheap and I know other people are going to break my annual salary, but I want to win Super Bowls. And I don't think this knocks off the Chiefs at all. I think they're going to get right back on the roll next week. So,
but there's a realistic world where, like if you're Patrick Mahomes, you're like, yeah, I take this contract and by the end of it, I'm going to be like the middle paid quarterback of the league. But really, what if I continue playing at this elite level and they want to get me on an extension for 5 years on my 8th year of the deal, and now they got to match market? Like, that's where Patty Mahomes is winning on that deal.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Now, one thing I do want to bring up is Jared Goff looked very good. Granted, Kansas City's defense isn't known for being elite, but he looked pretty good. I do want to give him a quick shout out. I'm not going to call him a winner, but a lot of people were hyped on him. I wasn't, but a little props to him. So,
like, here's the thing. Like, I think Jared Goff would have looked a lot better, but Kansas City's defensive line, like on pass rush specifically, was elite. Like, let me see if this is posted. It wasn't posted as of last night, but Lions Chiefs pressures. Because like every time he was going back, it was just like they were in his face. Aiden Hutchinson single-handedly had 7 pressures last night, by the way.
Jesus Christ.
That's an insane amount. I want to say the Chiefs' defensive line probably had like, as a unit, probably had like 18 pressures if I counted correctly, which is like just an obscene amount of pressures. They were getting in his face, and Jared Goff showed a lot of poise, but when it was like in the first half that passing attack was stalling a little bit, after that first drive, and stalling a little bit, and then in the second half it started cooking because I think he adjusted to that pressure, being like, okay, and I think Jared Goff could be better in a future week where his offensive line is blocking better on pass protection. He played a very good game considering how much pressure he had.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to look up what you're talking about. See if they did the pressures. I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, it's not up. Yeah, I just checked too.
Okay.
Oh yeah. 5 for 14 on third downs, though. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's what the Chiefs had. Anyways, let's get into some more start sits.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
Are we ready for this? All right.
Yeah, we'll do this while Shane's looking for what he's talking about.
Now, let's go right into Atlanta and Carolina, because I want to know, which one do you think is going to do better, Bryce Young or Desmond Ridder?
Ridder.
Ridder, I think he has the better weapons.
I think Bryce Young has the easier defense to play against. And I think Young's the better talent. So am I the odd guy out here? Okay. Just thought I should ask.
Expect anything less?
I did. I mean, obviously for Austin, for the Atlanta side, you're starting Robinson, Drake London, and Kyle Pitts. Yes.
Probably just Drake London and Bijan.
And Bijan, not Pitts. You just stream him if you had him.
If you need him.
Okay. What about on the Carolina side? Anyone that you're willing to say? Miles Sanders. Is he just an automatic start this week, or is he a, middle of the pack? You're just hoping for someone better.
See, that's tough. We'll see what Sanders is all about, but I think he's a pretty good lock for at least 15 points this week.
That's what I'm thinking too. Any hope in that receiving core? Because, if I had to choose, Mingo, Thielen, Marshall, Shenault, Hayden Hurst, any of the pass catchers, I'm going to have a hard time leaning towards any of them. I might go Adam Thielen just because of the experience, but he's questionable. Yeah. He's played in the NFL.
Chark's already been ruled out, and Thielen is looking like he might be ruled out for this Sunday. So that means either Jonathan Mingo or Terrence Marshall, something like that, are going to get uptaking targets, but also means probably Miles Sanders too is going to get a little bit more work either on the ground or through the air.
Yeah, if I had to flex one of the wide receivers, I think it'd be Mingo with Chark and possibly Thielen out. If Thielen's also out, I am going to run and upgrade Mingo because there's just only so much they can do. They have to pass the ball to someone.
Yeah, but you don't know who that is. Kind of like the Chiefs.
I mean, if it's down to Marshall, LaVisca Chenault, or Mingo, I'm going Mingo. If those are our three options. I mean, obviously Sanders, but so you
I wouldn't start him if I had him.
Okay, would
I'd find someone else.
Okay, Treylon Burks or Jonathan Mingo? Treylon Burks plays against the Saints,
and Treylon might not even play. He's questionable.
Right.
So I'd be waiting.
Well, no. Treylon Burks is without injury status. Mm. Yeah, it's been updated. He's off the questionable list. So would you rather do Treylon or Jonathan Mingo? Because I know you're not high on
Treylon. I trust that Titans more than the Panthers. So
wow. Okay. I mean, the line on this game is not much love. It's Falcons -3.5. And I was going to say the over-under is 49.5, so it's not going to be a
I'd probably take the under.
Game. Okay. You take the under. Okay.
I would not be surprised if we had a game like we did today or yesterday.
I mean, that was 41 points.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was low scoring. We just don't know what we're getting from Bryce Young. So it's hard to take that over on that. It's hard to know or predict how many points they're scoring, and the under is typically a safe bet with a lot of lines.
Yeah.
So here's a stat line for you for what I was looking into. The pressures aren't posted yet, but 4 tackles for a loss, a sack, and 4 QB hits.
That's a big one.
So that means that they got into the backfield 9 times.
Yeah.
That's a lot already, and that's just including anything that was unstatted.
Mm-hmm. And that's for the Chiefs, right?
That's for the Chiefs defense.
Okay. Damn.
They were playing tough, man.
That's crazy.
They did great against them.
Yeah, I was just the defense played good, that the offense just was super lackluster without Kelsey there.
Now, do you think that's because the Lions' defense was that good, or do you think that's reflective?
What are you saying?
Do you think that's reflective of the Chiefs' offense? You're good.
Oh, my bad. I wasn't trying to cut you off that first time. I was just
You're good, bro.
Talking.
You're good.
I think it's kind of both, right? The Lions defense delivers a lot of credit for holding that potent Chiefs offense to what they did, but I think the bigger story is how poorly the Chief offense did, right? With all the drop skitters Tony had, the run game that they weren't established, that the Lions defense deserves a lot of credit for that. But I mean, it was pretty obvious how much they're missing Kelsey out there. Yeah. That's the blanket for the safety for Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have someone like Tyreek Hill to take the top off of defense now. So now he has to really rely on Kelsey to get open under in the middle of the field and on those out routes. But to kind of answer your question though, so I think the bigger story is the Chiefs offense.
Well, yeah, you know, like Noah Gray did have 5 targets, which he was tied for most on the team with 5, alongside Kadarius Toney and Rashee Rice. But he only had 31 yards. You know, usually that's pretty solid for a tight end. Like I think that's an average tight end performance. But like, is that a Kelsey performance on 5 receptions or on 5 targets? Because those 5 targets are probably 5 receptions.
70. Yeah, you're probably looking at like 70 to 80.
Yeah, and a TD probably.
Yeah. Like in the end zone, he probably was throwing the Kelsey and not Tony.
But you know what? Talking about red zone threats, that's going to be right to my next player I want to talk about.
All right, who's it?
You know who he is.
All right,
George
anyways,
Pickens.
on to the next game.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. We can talk about Pickens. We can talk about Steelers.
So Ben brought it up when we were talking in the pregame a little bit. This is why I think Pickens could be a top 10 receiver, and I think it's a realistic possibility. Historically, Steelers wide receivers score more fantasy points. Circa Juju Smith-Schuster when he was behind Antonio Brown, because like he was behind Antonio Brown. But like, you know, look at like Deontay Johnson. Like Juju was still a top 10 wide receiver in fantasy that season. If he wasn't, he was damn close. So we're talking about a dominant performance from Juju. You know, you're looking at like Chase Claypool when he was behind Antonio Brown for his rookie season, or when he was behind Juju Smith-Schuster his rookie season. Like he was dominant. He was taking the tops off defenses, you know. And then like last season, George Pickens was starting to come on later in the year, but like his flaws were showing. But the thing is, like, that was exciting about the preseason and later on in that season, last season, was you could see that his release was getting better. He's just eyeing the ball perfectly now. It's just like he's clicking. And it's like, oh, okay. Now, he's got the speed to take off the top of a defense. He's got the size to moss anybody. A middle linebacker can't cover him, and a safety can't cover him, and a corner can't cover him. You got to throw double coverage on that side. You're leaving Deontay Johnson open? No, you can't do that. You know, like, oh, you leave him Pat Freiermuth open? Okay, they're just going to get 8 yards on you every ping. Like, the Steelers have too many weapons. So if you're going to pick your weapon out of this, George Pickens is the best one. And I think he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver because of that.
Okay, so then to kind of pivot a little bit, how do you feel about sites calling to say that you should sit Najee, call him a potential bust alert for week 1? How do you feel about that?
I see it. I don't believe it, but I see it. You know, Jalen Warren did put in a good preseason, but here's the thing. Much like this Lions game from last night, Montgomery got a majority of the touches. Jalen Warren, you know, is going to look like Jahmyr Gibbs, where he's going to have like 5.5 yards per carry or 6 yards per carry on like 7 touches, and you're going to be like, why don't you give this guy the ball more? Well, you know, if you don't got that Monty in front of him making that grind happen, which is Najee, you know, Najee's going to get like 80 yards to 120 yards realistically. And he's going to probably get a touchdown or 2. And he gets receptions out of the backfield because unlike David Montgomery, he's very agile and he's able to catch out of the backfield much more efficiently than Montgomery.
So then what do you foresee the split being between those two? Like 80-20, 70-30 kind of thing?
I think, yeah, about 75%, 25%.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you hit it right in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
There's a reason they were playing Najee so light in preseason.
Because you think they're going to
plan on using him.
They're about to put the fucking pedal down on Najee, bro.
I don't know if they're going to do it week 1 though. And against the 49ers defense, I would honestly, if I could, I'd avoid.
And they just re-signed their guy.
Right. Exactly. I'd avoid Pickett. I'd avoid Najee. Start him if you obviously draft him because you probably don't have great backups. I'd sit Deontay Johnson and George Pickens. Not sit, but temper my expectations on them. So, like all of them, I'd either temper my expectations or see if I could switch them out because I don't think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Neither does Vegas. I think the over-under is at like 42 or 41. And I don't even know if it's going to get that high. I think it'll be very clearly the 49ers. So, I mean...
So you think the 49ers are going to win it easy?
Yes, I think... I mean, obviously, starting McCaffrey, that's the obvious start. I'd flex Purdy in a super flex. And then I think Deebo and Ayuk are worth seeing your...
So 41.5 is the line.
Yeah, they're saying 41.5. 41.5.
And I don't think I don't know if it's even going to hit that. I see the 49ers coming out and kind of keeping the ball away from the Steelers. I don't think the Steelers have enough. And that's just my opinion. I would take San Francisco all day in this one and temper my expectations. And I drafted Pickens and Kenny Pickett in a league. Yeah. So
I'd be sitting both quarterbacks.
Week. Really? You're not going to
I'd be sitting both.
Say no stream on the Purdy train?
Well, the Steelers are the best defense that Purdy has faced since he played the Cowboys, and he had like 200 some odd yards and no touchdowns. Yeah. Right? And that's decent for fantasy, but not great. So if you got a better option.
And their defense
the Cowboys
was dead.
Were better.
Cowboys are better.
Cowboys are better, and the Steelers are better.
The Steelers are a top 5 defense.
Then Seattle? Seattle's defense was great last year.
Yes.
Okay.
Steelers defense, okay.
Oh, Steelers defense is amazing, yes.
The Steelers' biggest hole on defense last season was middle linebacker. We dumped our whole entire middle linebacker room except for Mark Robinson, who came on late in the season last year and was a stud. And he's a third stringer now because we went and got Quan Alexander. By the way, no one gave a fuck about that. Former Pro Bowler. Steelers just picked up and has been having an explosive preseason. Huh, that's crazy. Oh, Cole Holcomb. Damn, that's really fucking crazy. We're talking about, this Steelers defense is about to be good. And, Patrick Peterson, too. People are like, oh, he's washed. He's washed. Bro, he made the Pro Bowl last year. He was a Pro Bowl caliber player last year. He's not washed.
You got to also think what Pittsburgh's going to be up against too, because they have Fred Warner, they have Nick Bosa too, so they've got some superstar All-Pros as well.
They have an injured Nick Bosa, which by game day he might be in 100% shape, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Do you think Bosa's going to be 100% come Sunday? They weren't sure if they were going to play him this week.
I think he's going to play.
I think he's going to play, especially with them signing that massive contract.
But do you think he's 100%? Do you think he's 100%?
Yeah, maybe. I think they wouldn't have signed him to that long if there was any true problem.
No. Okay, you get injured. Let's say I have a deep bruise in my leg, in my shin, right? It's a painful injury, and it might lay you out for 2 or 3 days. But the pain will still remain for about 2 weeks, and it's hard to walk on because of that. So it's not a long-term thing. I'm not saying, do you think he's 100%, do you think he tore his ACL and his ACL didn't heal right? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, do you think he's 100% for this game?
I don't know about 100%, but I think him even at 85 is going to be good. Yeah, I think even at 85%, because he's obviously an NFL athlete. He's going to suck it up and play as best as he can. So even at 85%, I still think he's going to have, game-wrecking ability. Because I do too. Led the NFL in sacks last year with 18.5. So it's pretty good.
It was pretty good. I love watching defenses destroy offensive linemen.
But to kind of go back to RBs, I think the only one I'm starting in the game is probably going to be McCaffrey. Najee if I have to, but he's probably like a mid RB2 against a deadly San Fran defense. Right, like a lot of times you got to play the matchup, and Najee does not have a favorable one. So, but if he's like my RB1 or 2 on my fantasy team, he's starting, no question. But if I don't have to, I'm not.
Now, do we think Kittle's gonna play?
So,
sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. I interrupted you. I wanted to talk about the Najee subject a little further, but if
I mean, we can. I was just going to ask about Kittle, so we'll go right into that after.
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
We'll do Najee first, then Kittle.
Okay, so here's the thing too. Like, you could use. I think that you're exactly right with the RB2 stance, but I think that there's a chance that Najee scores more because it's going to be a situation where they're going to try to grind the clock a little bit. They're going to try to, keep the defense on the field so they can go ahead and air it out later on. You can see Najee getting like 100 yards, 5 receptions, a touchdown, and that's a 21-point game.
Right. So I guess what I'm really saying is start him, but don't expect RB1.
Don't expect that 21
points.
Game. It's probably going to be 12.
But expect
10 to 12.
I was going to say 10 to 13, but 12 is good. I like 12. Right in the middle. There. And then for like the wide receiver side of things. Oh yeah, wait, Kittle first.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you guys think he's going to actually play this week, or do you guys think that they're going to rest him because it's week 1?
He's gonna.
I mean, it's a groin injury, so it can be hard to tell sometimes with those. But I mean, if he doesn't play, you're not starting any tight end for San Fran.
Yeah, no.
And then I think if he doesn't play, especially, you're leaning more on starting like Brandon Ayuk or Debo.
Yeah.
Because I think whatever targets Kittle's going to be getting is probably going to them or to CMC/Elijah Mitchell.
Here's something to take advantage of: is Joey Porter Jr. is listed as CB2 on the roster chart right now. So if you want to get a matchup against a rookie cornerback in his first NFL game,
no,
not bad.
Bad idea. Okay. Now, which game are you guys most excited for? Because that's the one I want to talk about next. Because I have my game, and I want to hear what you guys' most exciting game do you think this weekend's going to be?
We can do that at the end.
Well, I was going to go right into those players. Okay, so in Houston, who are you starting? No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was going to just see.
I was just going to tell you to go right into
horrible.
it.
Okay, so I'm excited for Zay Flowers. So I'm gonna play him. Odell is healthy. Bateman's good. Dobbins is gonna have a good game. Lamar Jackson. I see Baltimore like just stomping Houston. Sorry, Houston fans.
So you just want to see obliteration.
I'm going. I don't even know what the over under is, but I'm probably smacking the over, man. It is. I have no faith in the Houston Texans, even with grabbing Will Anderson Jr. in, pick number 3. I just think they're going to have their way. Baltimore and Houston. What is the over under? It is currently 9.5 towards the Ravens, and I'm still going to take that. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm high on Dobbins. I'm high on Jackson. I think Jackson's going to throw at least 2 to 3 touchdowns. I think one's going to go to Zay Flowers. So I'm putting him above the other receivers. I could be wrong. I just like him the most out of all of them. And on the other side, I sit everyone but Pierce. I avoid everyone but Dameon Pierce. I think Pierce is going to be the workhorse. And that's the only hope. I think Stroud's going to struggle. Nico Collins might have an okay game. Maybe Tank Dell.
I'd probably start Nico.
Enough. You'd start Nico. Okay.
Yeah, he's the wide receiver 1, man. It's hard to argue against sitting that, especially like in the flex spot.
I see. That's the thing.
Personally, I'm not starting him because I don't need to. But if I had an open flex spot and I have Nico Collins on my bench, I'm putting him in that flex spot.
So that's my question. Just like with Kansas City, we didn't know who the number 1 was, but all the wide receivers were crap. And I think that Patrick Mahomes, call it wild, is better than CJ Stroud. So I don't see any of these wide receivers really being worth much. I think.
But I think Nico Collins is better than all the Chief wide receivers.
Okay, what about Dalton Schultz?
I'd probably
Because
start him.
obviously,
He's currently in my starting lineup at the moment because Mark Andrews is questionable.
Right.
So
Now, if Mark Andrews plays, you obviously put Mark Andrews over Schultz, right?
well,
Of course.
yeah,
100%.
of course. That's an easy
No doubt.
decision.
No
Okay.
doubt.
I'm just waiting
No
for
doubt.
that 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. injury report to come out.
Right. Now, is there anyone else? Austin, you said Nico, but Shane, anyone else you would either sit that I said start or that you would also think about flexing in this game?
You know, like, I might be a little bit hot on him, but Tank,
And who?
I wouldn't mind
Dell.
being in a flex spot. You know, like, I think he could potentially
A
score
little
like
spicy.
10 to 15 points. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Baltimore's coverage is really good. The thing is with Roquan Smith is like he's elite in coverage. You know, but the thing is with Tank Dell is he shouldn't be crossing into Roquan a lot, and that should help him get a lot of like gimme PPR yard points and a couple like 10, 20, 30, 40-ish yards. You know, nothing elite, but 5-6 receptions and you know maybe 50 yards, and that's like an 11-point game. That's a decent flex start. You know, especially if you're.
I mean,
Go ahead.
no, I wasn't trying to interrupt you. I was just talking to myself like I usually do.
Well, that's because you're crazy. Okay, so a lot of love for the rookie receivers and Zay Flowers and Tank Dell from us. I like it. I want to see what happens. I mean, Rashid Rice already came out and started showing out for the rookie receivers in this class. Let's see if more can do it. Another good one. It's all Ohio. The Bengals versus Cleveland. And on this one, there's going to be a lot of like, go ahead and just start them and put them in your lineup people in this game. So Shane, why don't you go off with who you think are your automatic starts in this game?
Oh man. So Burrow's starting now, I believe, correct? It's official. Burrow's going to start.
I believe so, yeah. Let me double check. Continue talking, I'll check it out.
Yes, he is
Burrow,
confirmed to start week 1.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he was 100% yet, but yeah. Burrow, obviously. Like, you're dumb if you think you shouldn't start Burrow.
Starting Ritter.
Crazy. You know, Jamar Chase is obviously a lot. Don't be surprised with a random Tyler Boyd, like, 14-point game. You know, like, I really would be. Yeah. Like,
okay, so
thing is with the Browns defense is like who's going to cover Tyler Boyd? You know, T. Higgins gets open a lot because he's shifty. You know, but the thing is, Browns defense is going to match up pretty well against that. You put Tyler Boyd in that slot position, you're going to have to put a linebacker or safety on him. So that's going to be tough if you're running base defense. And the Browns just don't have a good coverage for him. Comparatively to T. Higgins, who, like, yeah, he might have a good game, and he's definitely worth a flex spot by himself just because Joe Burrow's passing him the ball. Jamar Chase, who's a top 5 wide receiver, who's going to be a wide receiver 1 on most teams. You know, Tyler Boyd, like, it's gonna be one of those situations where it's like he's gonna get like probably 12 yards. I think that's my hottest read on the Bengals side.
Would you start
Anybody
both
else?
T. Higgins and Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because like
that was my only question, because I would start both of them, and then Joe Mixon.
Here's my question to you. Do you think Joe Burrow will pass for 300 wide receiver yards?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
No. I'll take the under.
But
300 yards to the receivers, not tight ends.
But here's the thing,
or
Ben.
running backs.
But here's the thing, Ben. You just stalled on it. You weren't 100. It's a tough decision, and that's where I'm at with it.
I see it as like a B+ matchup for Burrow.
Yeah, like
kind of thing.
So like, let's run through it. You know, we're talking about receivers. You know, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Trent Irwin. Maybe Charlie Jones will see 2 or 3 snaps, but realistically, you know, Trent Irwin might see like 10 snaps, but Tyler Boyd's going to see a significant amount. He's probably going to see 30 or so. You know, and T. Higgins, Jamar Chase always on the field. So you know, let's look at it like this. You know, Jamar Chase gets 15 receptions. Okay, let's say he gets 150 yards. So he eats up like half of that wide receiver point right there, right? T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd get the other half. That's realistic because it's like 70, 75-ish yards.
Yeah.
And you're looking at 5 or 6 receptions. So, yeah, like, that's a very good start. Because, like, if you
Especially
can sit there and be
PPR.
like, do you think, yeah, especially in PPR, because you're like, okay, Burrow, can he get 300-plus wide receiver yards? And if you have to stall on that because you're like, his wide receivers are really good and you're breaking down the numbers, I specifically think in this matchup, you could start all 3 of their starting wide receivers and you'd have a good flex to a great wide receiver 1 with Jamar Chase, obviously.
Hey, I can sit behind that. So,
I can agree
you
with
kind of put Tyler Boyd as like your sleeper for the Bengals
Yeah.
for the week. Okay.
Now on the other side, I'm starting Watson. I'm starting Chubb. I'm starting Cooper, and I might flex Njoku for the tight end. Yeah, as a low end streamer.
Yeah.
So other than that, I like Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm a Michigan guy, obviously, but I don't think he's going to do enough to really secure it. I always thought he was a great number 2. Obviously, they brought in Elijah Moore. They also brought in David Bell from Purdue last year. Marquise Goodwin, the speedster, and Tillman. Cedric Tillman. They just drafted that guy out of Texas. He's a big play machine. So I'm not sure who's going to be the number 2. So I'm just going to kind of sit and wait on everyone else. But I'll still play Cooper. I think Watson to Cooper is going to be good. I think Chubb's good.
Have to.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous because I have Jerome Ford in a couple leagues as a backup, and I hope he gets used because that would give me a lot of faith.
Ben, you said you don't know who the wide receiver 2 is.
Shane, did you just turn off your camera?
No, he's still.
No,
we still see him.
Oh, I don't see him.
I do, and it's going to be Elijah Moore. And I think that Elijah Moore's a stud, man. Elijah Moore's a stud.
All right. Where's the kick button?
Why?
Elijah
Why you hate me
Moore.
so much? He's the number 2, man. He is.
Disgusting.
Why?
I always said it's disgusting because I have no faith in Watson. That's my biggest thing. I don't have faith in Watson and that passing attack.
I think Elijah Moore could get like 12 points or so. I think he's a sleeper for me this week at a flex position.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I would also be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if Deshaun Watson is top 15 this week. Austin, do you think he finished his top 15?
Well, Jared Goff is currently number 1.
Well,
or is Patrick Mahomes? I can't remember.
I think Mahomes had more points than.
I can't remember. Welcome back, Shane.
Hello.
He didn't leave. He's been here the whole time.
No, his camera disappeared for me.
So
that's why I said welcome back.
Let's think about this. This is how this game's going to play out. You already know. Deshaun Watson going to target Amari Cooper on a deep route like 7 times, and he's only going to catch like 2 of them.
That's fine, as long as one of them's for a touchdown.
One of them's probably going to be for a touchdown, and then he's going to hit him like twice on the under, in the mid, and that's going to be all of Amari Cooper. So where are all the other receptions going? That's how Amari Cooper goes every game, and it's worth 15 to 20 points.
They're going to be incompletions. Everything else is going to be incompletions.
Everything's incompletions. Okay.
Besides the 8 targets to Cooper.
Never mind. Golf in our league had more points. 16.02 versus 15.54. So
yeah, that's
what right. Goff is the number 1 quarterback. How does it feel to trade for Mahomes and have him not be the number 1?
Why? Because long term he's still number 1.
He's going to step it up. He always will.
Especially once
Patrick Mahomes just fell off a cliff. Imagine if that NFL scriptwriter meeting joke ad was true and they wrote him out. They're writing out Patrick Mahomes. No!
Y'all see they're kind of on a tangent. Y'all see they're starting making like little mini commercials and shit like that about the script writing and stuff like that.
I love
That's what I was talking about.
That's what I was talking about. Okay, I didn't know if you were for sure.
When the chicks was sitting there and she's like, maybe we can write out Patrick Mahomes, and he pops up on like a Zoom meeting in the background. He's like, not cool, dude.
Yeah, the last one I saw was Tom Brady. He's like, "Do you think I'd go along with the script that saw me lose to Eli twice?" I was like, "Damn, that hurts," but that's funny.
I see. Again, I'm very much against sports are scripted. Do I think they can sway them? Yeah, I think Kansas City got away with a lot of false starts and holdings.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They still lost though. So I don't think the NFL scripted. Speaking of scripted, I think I'm writing Anthony Richardson right into the Hall of Fame right now. Colts versus Jags.
Yes,
Anthony
sir.
Richardson to the moon.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
sir.
you hated him.
I still don't have faith in him being an NFL quarterback. For fantasy football, though, what those legs do, though. What's those legs do?
That's all we care about. I think.
I'm telling you right now,
Jonathan, I think with Jonathan Taylor, it helps him that much more, especially on the ground game type of thing, because he's probably going to get like 8 to 10 design rushes.
Exactly.
And it's probably going to net you 50 to 60 points or 50 to 60 yards. I mean,
oh damn! I'm starting right away. 50 points,
and he might have like 1 to 2 touchdowns. I don't think he's going to get above 2. He's probably going to pass for like 225 ish.
I'll take the under.
That's fine. That's just what I expect. I think that's his ceiling this game.
Ceiling. Okay, ceiling.
Rookie quarterbacks traditionally in like their first few starts, especially, don't do great, right? So all of them are going to struggle to some degree.
Right. I don't think he gets over 200 passing yards. I like him for fantasy football, but more as a low end flex play in a super league, like a super flex league. I wouldn't like if it's a 12-man 1 QB league. He's not even on my radar. I could name 12 other quarterbacks easily.
Well, yeah,
I mean, like easy. On the other side, Trevor Lawrence, automatic start for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Him and Travis Etienne are the auto starts for me.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Those on that side, those are the 2 auto starts. I'm going to flex Ridley and Kurt because I want to see where it goes. But I think they're going to have enough volume, especially against our Colts shit D. I think they both could get, 15 plus points, both get 5-6 catches, 70, 80 yards and a tutty.
I would start Ingram over Ridley personally.
Wow.
Well, I mean, that 2-year break has a toll, right? It's going to take a little bit for him to get into the swing of things again. It plays a big factor.
We'll see.
Now, if like week 4, I'd probably start him. Week 5, yeah. Week 1, probably not.
Okay. What about a low-end flex? Would you consider him there? Okay.
Flex, there's other players I'd rather start.
Ridley,
we're talking about like my team.
Well, I'm just talking about most teams. So Ridley or someone maybe considering Amari Cooper. Ridley or Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk if Kittle doesn't play.
Ridley or Jerry Jeudy.
Ooh,
Ayuk.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, see?
I think Ridley. That's
an interesting one. Probably Ridley because he's the number 1. So Ridley over Jeudy.
Okay, I like that. On the Colts side, again, low end flex, super flex, our quarterback Richardson. I'm staying away from the receivers. People are really hopping on the Michael Pittman train.
I'd flex Michael Pittman.
I'd put him in a low end flex, but I'm not someone I'm rushing out to start him. Deion Jackson is a solid flex play because
is it him or Evan Hall though, or are they going to be splitting? I think they're going to be splitting.
They're going to. Who?
Then I'm staying away from the RBs in general.
Zach Moss is the starter for the Colts.
Has he been cleared for week 1 though? Because he was questionable with the broken arm. Now. Okay, so if Zach Moss starts, I will put him at the low end flex. But if he doesn't start, then I'm more into Deion. But I'm not excited about any of the running backs.
Moss is questionable.
Moss is still questionable. Okay. Wide receivers, I'm low end flex for Pittman. I'm going to wait to see if Alec Pierce or Josh Downs. I almost traded Pierce away, decided not to because you never know. If he ends up coming out and being better, I'd rather hold on to him. Now,
That's
my
fair.
favorite player in the NFL, Baker Mayfield, against
Oh, God.
Minnesota's defense, who's not good. I actually consider him a flexible play, if not a QB2 in 2 quarterback leagues. I think he's a solid number 2 for you this week. I'm not saying every week, but this week, I have a lot of faith in him. Rashad White, I'm going to start. Godwin and Evans, I'm going to start both of them. On the other side, Kirk Cousins is always a great QB. Alex Madison, people are super hyped
And
about.
sit Justin Jefferson, am I right, guys?
Right, just sit Justin Jefferson.
Yes, sir.
Madison, I feel, is solid. Jefferson, obviously, always start. But what about Jordan Addison? Do you guys think he's worth a flex play or start or sit this week?
Yeah, I think he's a flex starter.
What about Kate Otten?
No.
That's a
no
tough
interest.
one.
So would you only be starting like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin then, and Rashad White? Would those be your 3 players from the Bucks?
Yeah,
okay.
That's like exclusively it. Like Mike Evans, obviously. Like thing is, if you have Mike Evans, like you probably got another good wide receiver, and he's your wide receiver 2 locked in.
Mm-hmm.
So like this game is gonna be a fun game for a lot of leagues because it's gonna be a game that like a lot of people got like Justin Jefferson and Mike Evans on the same squad.
Right.
So this is gonna be a fun game because of that. With that being said, Rashad White, I'm interested in as like an RB2. Mike Evans, I'm interested in as a wide receiver 2.
Mm-hmm.
Godwin, like low end flex. Kate Otten, I wouldn't start over any other tight end that you should be able to have access to.
Right.
Agreed.
Baker Mayfield, I wouldn't start.
Yeah, same.
Not even in super flex.
I'm excited to see Hawk continue his hot start from last year.
He was on a tear as soon as he got traded, or as soon as he went to the Vikings.
So
he was
I'm
on
excited
a tear.
for that.
I could agree.
Yeah. Okay. Now off to division rivals, Tennessee Titans versus the Saints. I was listening to a podcast and they were saying the Titans' whole game plan this week is give the ball to Derrick Henry as much as possible to keep the Saints off the field, just like the Lions did to the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the ball in clock going, keep it working. Don't let Derek Carr have too much time because Derek Carr is an above average passer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So in this game, obviously, you're going to start Derrick Henry. You're going to start Chris Olave. You're going to start Carr, flex Tannehill, in my opinion. Now, that's where it gets muddly for me after that. So, like DeAndre Hopkins, Treylon Burks, Jamal Williams, Kendre Miller, Tajay. Well, I'm not even thinking about Tajay Spears, but Kendre Miller, like Michael Thomas, like all these players. Do you consider any of them like flex worthy, start worthy, or are they kind of like leaning towards the sit?
So
if Kendre Miller is my plays, I'd say probably flex him.
Henry
as
is
of
my
right now,
only
he's
lock.
questionable.
Henry's my only lock. Henry and Olave are my only locks for this game. Like you're not going to see.
I'm talking about only Titan side right now.
I'd put Hopkins in there.
Really,
Henry's a lock. I would put Hopkins at low end flex. Like that's the only other starter I see. I am not hot on the Titans. Their defense isn't retained enough. Their game plan isn't going to be as efficient as it has been for the past 5 years. The Titans are going to fall this season, in my opinion. And I said that when we were talking about our AFC South video.
Yeah.
But on Saints side, I think Carr is a starter. I think, he could put on a top 12 performance this week. I wouldn't be surprised. Jamal Williams, I think, like his starting potential is obscenely high. He's my boomer bust for the week. Because like if he gets 2 or 3 tutties and like 100 yards on the ground, that's a fucking monster. He's gonna single-handedly win you a game. Chris Olave, I think, is a lot. Michael
Chris
Thomas,
Olave,
I
for
think, is a
sure.
lot at flex.
Michael Thomas is a
that's
weird one for me to get behind.
Same here. He's a weird one to try to get and be happy about. I don't know if I can.
I don't think I would start him, honestly. Because if I have Michael Thomas, who I say he's probably like my 4 or 5. He's never going to be like a 1 or 2 on a team. At least he shouldn't be.
Do you think he'll ever regain the poise of his past? When he was dominant. Like, he's never going to be that ball hog again where he's going to get 150 targets in a year.
I think it's possible he does.
I think he's going to have a Larry Fitzgerald type year this year.
Okay.
800 yards, 5 TDs?
800 yards, usually like 7 TDs, on like 100 or so receptions.
That can be usable in fantasy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So a wide receiver 2-ish.
Yeah, I think low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3. For Michael Thomas
I can get down with that.
All right,
Now,
I forgive you, Shane.
Another abysmal game we can get into is going to be the Cardinals versus the Washington Commanders. The reason I say it so sadly.
We're already done with that game prediction. Look at that.
Start Jahan.
Wow. Your first start out of all players you could think of was Jahan.
Start Sam.
Not even McLaurin.
Start McLaurin. I expect big things from Jahan this year. I think he's going to have a great year. I think he's going to slowly start taking over that wide receiver room from Terry.
You think
he Sam Howell likes
steal the number 1? Really?
I wouldn't be surprised. He's like 22. Terry's 27.
Start Marquise Brown and start James Conner too, by the way.
Mainly probably James Conner.
I think I'm hot on Brown. He was dominant last year before he got injured. Like, dominant. Do you remember the first 6 weeks when he was playing? I got him from Ben on a fucking steal because he went on injury reserve. Like, now he's coming back.
I do remember that.
Like, here, let me see how many points he is worth in our league. Real quick. Because it will surprise you.
But do you think Clayton Tune's going to do enough?
No, it's Dobbs. They traded for Joshua Dobbs. Yeah.
But he's the actual starter?
Yeah, he's slated to start, I believe. So Dobbs has a little bit of NFL, experience being with Pittsburgh, the Jags, Pittsburgh, and then Tennessee. But he's always been a backup.
I'm sitting all the Cardinals wide receivers, starting James Conner.
Joshua Dobbs is a pretty solid quarterback, but he's a field general to the max.
If I have to choose someone on Arizona, I would low-end flex Marquise Brown. That's it. Low-end flex him. I would rather have Jahan or Terry McLaurin. Hell, I might even want Curtis Samuel. And I have no faith in Sam Howell, by the way, guys. Remember, I don't like Sam Howell. I think Sam Howell is going to show that he's washed. I think that he's...
You feel the same way about Sam Howell the way I feel about Baker Mayfield. Except Baker has a lot more pressure on him.
Yeah, so listen, Ben, you did this trade about a year ago. You acquired Marquise Brown for George Pickens. How do you feel about that trade now?
Well, I needed a player to get me points right this minute to win. And Pickens was a rookie. So I took what was better, in my opinion.
Okay.
So that was
then
2020.
Then you turn Marquise Brown and Adam Thielen over to me for Raheem Mostert.
Yep. I needed a running back. He was popping off. And you know what? What does that say in the corner of my name?
It was 3 weeks later, by the way. So
I ended up not needing him as bad as I thought. So I went and got the running back because I was more worried about running back And you know what? Raheem Mostert is still on my team, and he's still the starting running back for Miami. And you know what? He helped me win. So I'm happy with Raheem Mostert. There's no. Do I wish I still had Pickens? Sure, because I'm in full rebuild now. Would Pickens help my rebuild? Fuck yes. Easy, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't regret my rings. And I can't wait. I'm going to hopefully have them next couple episodes, and I will physically show you every single one. Anyways.
It's about time. 3 years late.
Hey, hey, at least I can say I've won. In our league history, it shows me winning. It doesn't show you guys winning. Just saying. Little gold next to me. That's it.
Yeah, we
that's
go
fine.
If
you're as smart as you thought you would have more for it.
You suck in your own dick like 10 times an episode is worse than me talking about the Steelers 5 times an episode.
Should I take a shot every time then?
Yeah, Shane, I was about to mention that shit.
Yeah.
Ben's becoming Shane with the Steelers. yeah. I was about to say that shit.
It's all I have. Okay, I don't have a team to contend this year. All right, it's all I have. Let me have my past.
Show a little faith. Maybe your team will start contending, bro. If you treat the Steelers like a religion, look at my team. Pittsburgh is literally a chapel for the Steelers, bro. There's a reason they win it every year, and it ain't because they're good. It's because the deities of gods bless upon Pittsburgh, dog. If you show a little faith, did you know the Steelers had the most fans nationwide? They have so much nuclear power of religion through the United States that it collects into energy all across the nation. Think about that. All right.
Anyways, Cowboys Giants.
We're going to skip to Cowboys Giants. Let me scroll down and click on them. I am going to start Jones and Prescott. Both are starts for me. You may hate Jones, but it's a good matchup.
I do. Against the tough
you think it's
Cowboys
a good matchup?
Defense. I think it's a good matchup to force him to continuously to pass. And he has scrambled for over, I think in the two matchups, it was over 120 yards, I want to say, last year. Or was it I think it was 3 matchups, including postseason, and it was 123 yards. So that's a little bit of work on the ground. It was something like that. So I think they're going to be down. I think Dallas is going to be up, so Jones is going to have to pass. He's not a very, error QB in the interceptions. Now, fumbles is different. He needs to get that under control. But for interceptions, the most he's ever thrown in his season was 12. That was his rookie year. And then 10, and then 7, and then 5. He's not a very...
I'm sitting Daniel Jones.
You're sitting, not even as a low-end super flex, QB2.
Well, super flex in that freaking 4-person flex spot, maybe. But that Cowboys defense is deadly. Last year, they allowed the 4th fewest fantasy points. Right? Jones didn't do well passing, really. And in those games, his legs could salvage the day, but that's not a bet I'm willing to risk it on.
I mean, 3,200 yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, and then another 728 on the ground. Or 708, sorry. And
but I'm not talking about over the season. I'm talking about in one matchup. Why are you bringing up season stats?
Because I'm showing you that
we're talking one fucking game.
Yeah, and last year he had...
No, the stats you should have pulled up were his games. And he threw for
his lowest game was 8. Yeah, well, his one game against the Seahawks, week 8, was his only under 10-point game. It was 8 points. He had 176 yards, 6 rushes for 20 yards,
but
and that's it.
Last year he threw for 196 and 228 with 1 touchdown combined in those 2 games. I'm not willing to bet on that he goes on the over. Not willing to do it.
You don't think 15 points as a QB2 in a 2-quarterback league is usable?
I'm not willing to bet on it.
Really? Because Patrick Mahomes did better by 0.4. 0.4.
Patrick Mahomes is a start every week.
Okay, I'm just saying. Statistically, last year, Daniel Jones against the Giants, or Daniel Jones for the Giants against Dallas has averaged 15
against
points.
The Giants. Against the Giants.
Has averaged the 15 points. So I'm just saying, against Dallas, he is a usable quarterback. So don't sit him, flex him.
Maybe usable, but I'm not about to put my money on him.
I said him.
Thank you.
That's just wild. You know, I drafted him in the 5th round of our other league, and when he comes out this year and smacks y'all because Dayball shows him how to pass like Josh Allen, you'll understand. Anyways, you start Barkley, you start Pollard, you start CeeDee Lamb, and that's really it for me.
You know what's going to be crazy, Ben? Daniel Jones is going to become an elite quarterback, and you'd be like, I called it. And I'm going to be like, no, you didn't. No, how much is lie? I'm going to say, no, you didn't. No,
okay, so remind me to go back to this episode. I'm going to save this episode. So when it happens and you start and you try to gaslight me, I'm going to just put these clips in your chat the whole time.
No, he won't be elite. He won't be elite. Calling it now.
I would take Daniel Jones over Sam Howell any day. Any day.
That's fine. You also love Baker Mayfield, so shut the fuck up.
Hey, at least Daniel Jones has had more than one season in the NFL and proven that he can do well. Just saying, Sam Howell's done nothing. Fuck Sam Howell. How about that? Why don't we get that going?
Fuck Daniel Jones.
Well, on to the next game then.
He finally had a good year, and you think he saw shit. Shut the fuck up.
Las Vegas,
he had
Denver.
Doesn't matter.
He had one top 10 year. The other year is 27, 24, 25.
Las
Shut the fuck up, Ben.
Denver.
You said one good year? Technically, top 25 in the NFL is still good for a super flex if you're in a 12.
Oh my God. You're in the bottom 7 of quarterbacks. So good.
I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying it's elite. He had a great season last year.
Performance.
But he's showing that he's getting better. Yeah, and he's getting better every year. That's the big thing. It's not getting worse.
No, he started 25, then 124, then 127. That's not getting better, Ben.
I meant on the interceptions and the turnovers.
Anybody on the Broncos offense?
All right, anyways.
Russell Wilson is super.
Anyways, to Shane. Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Over Jerry Jeudy.
Cortland Sutton. He's the number one.
I would low-end flex Jeudy and Sutton. I would start Williams, though. Javonte Williams. He's expected to have a big role. He was going to be the workhorse last year, and then an injury. He came out as a rookie, had 900 yards. I would play him. Okay. I would feel comfortable starting him over, well, quite a few people in this game. And on the other side, Josh Jacobs is an auto start. So, other than that, Devontae Adams, you start him. Garoppolo, low-end flex. Same thing with Russell Wilson. And I just low-end flex the 2 receivers, Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton. I don't know who it's going to be. I have no faith in Mims yet.
I mean, the rookie, it's understandable.
Yeah. Now, my question is, I'm going to be watching a rookie tight end in this game, Michael Mayer. I was trying to grab him in the draft. I wasn't able to.
What happened?
Someone ended up grabbing him. His name is Derpamation. He plays like a real dirt. So maybe now that he's on your team, he's just going to play worse. So maybe I don't want him anymore. I'll trade you a 4th round because I think that's what you got him for. I'll trade you a 4th round for him.
I got him in free agency, bro.
You got him in free agency? Even better.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good ad.
Picked him up over me. I was pissed.
I was fast as fuck with that, wasn't I?
Yeah, I was pissed, dude.
Now, don't be surprised if Austin Hooper does win. Hey, it's a good pick. Don't be surprised if Austin Hooper does win the top tight end spot. He has been a decent NFL tight end. Like, he's in the NFL for 7 years. He's done something right. Has he been relevant the last 3? No. But this could be his chance to get back on track. So don't be too surprised.
What about Greg Dulcich?
Oh, I'm trying to stream someone else if I can.
Yeah, honestly. This isn't a great matchup.
I would rather have the rookie Luke Musgrave for Green Bay than I would rather have Greg Dulcich. Okay. Well, also Musgrave's in a great situation with Christian Watson being sat, and so is Romeo Dobbs. Like, he's gonna get involved. We can actually talk about that next. But any other like starts or sits on this, Vegas versus Denver game?
No, I mean, other one, I'm pretty much avoiding everyone else.
Okay.
If
Now,
I can.
a big game is Green Bay versus Chicago. That's a heated rivalry. It's going to be great.
Allegedly.
I like Love. I think I'd play Love this week and Justin Fields. I'm still high on Aaron Jones. I'm going to play him. Now for the wide receivers with Christian Watson out, I'm leaning towards Jalen Reed. And mostly, I think the big person who's going to get a lot of love for this is Luke Musgrave. I think being a 6'6" tight end with his speed and catchability, I think he's actually going to have a pretty solid game. Very streamable. So, someone to keep your eye out for and to hopefully do better. Obviously, on the other side, Khalil Herbert
Justin
is
Fields.
someone you can. Well, yeah, you start Justin Fields. His rushing upside alone. Don't sit him.
And you say Christian Watson.
Yeah, Watson is out, so that sucks for me. I had a lot of love for Watson this game, but it's not meant to be.
You're going to have to wait a week to see.
Right. Exactly. Now, DJ Moore, what is our feeling on him? Obviously great for Carolina, but
mid.
How are we feeling here? Mid? Okay.
Starting. I put him in the
start. I think he's gonna be the key to unlock Justin Fields. I think I'm gonna start him.
I think wide receiver 3 range. Like flex 1, wide receiver 2 area.
Can you want to put money on it? Because I'll take the over. I think he's at least wide receiver 2. Like, he will finish in the top 24 fantasy finishes for wide receivers this year.
I think he could. Yeah.
I think
we're talking about this game?
Yeah, for just this game, I think he finishes in the top 24, which is very usable.
Well, if I remember correctly, I might be wrong, but just correct me.
Might be.
Just correct me if I'm wrong, but he's going to have to match up against Alexander?
Jair Alexander, one of the best lockdown, shutdown corners, yeah. But here's the thing. That's if Jair follows him, and that's also if the Bears don't already know that, watched a ton of film on Jair, and are trying to do routes that will affect and get him open, whether it's wide receiver screens, whether it's handoffs, whether it's short passes. They're going to get DJ involved.
Should I remind you that Rashal Douglas is on the other side of Jameer Alexander?
That's fine. It's still not the Jair Alexander level, but also more importantly, they're going to script more, whether it's jet sweeps, whether it's wide receiver passes. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised to see them in oh goodness. Why did I just forget it?
RPOs,
oh no, it's a quarterback, and then you've got 2 running backs on their left and right. What is that? It's a gun formation. It's gun.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever the formation's called. But I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the backfield next to, Khalil Herbert and Justin Fields, and they're running like some sort of triple option play. Like, don't be surprised. He's fast. He's shifty.
Right.
It's going to be an exciting offense.
You're talking about shotgun.
Right? Yeah, a shotgun formation.
I don't know why.
Yeah, but you're assuming that they throw the ball more than they did last year.
No. I think he's going to get plenty of work on the ground, too. I would not be surprised. So DJ Moore's highest... Oh, I don't see his highest rushing stats thanks to the sleeper. Give me a second. I have to...
Okay, well, anyways, he's finished between 18 and 22 since his rookie campaign. I think he has this very safe floor, and he has a great flex, every week flex play. But I think that's about it. I think that's his kind of his ceiling at this point.
His best rushing season was 172 yards. Don't be surprised if he beats that this year.
Don't be surprised. You say it about every player.
Don't be surprised.
Rams,
you're going to be surprised. Oh,
anything exciting here other than like obviously the Geno lock-in, Matthew Stafford, your Cooper Kupp's out. There's not a lot of starting potential.
I am starting Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, Tyler Higbee's a decent
That's
start.
a big one, especially with Cooper Kupp out. He loved Higbee last year. I start him. I start Akers. I low-end flex Stafford and Geno Smith. I start Walker.
I might
Metcalf,
flex Van Jefferson.
Okay, what? You would consider him the top? I was thinking about low-end flexing Tutu Atwell because I have a little more faith than Van Jefferson because less time on the field than Van Jefferson, but more productivity. I think he's going to be the number 2 behind Cooper when it comes time. I don't think so.
I just don't think there's.
I don't blame. I mean, it's all up in the air, so we're all going to find out, just like Kansas City, just like a lot of them. Especially when the number 1 guy's out, it's hard to tell. But Metcalf, you start. I'm going to low-end flex Lockett and JSN. So that's how I view it. Mild intrigue on Zach Charbonnet and the receiving work.
Wait, hold on. You said you flexed Lockett?
Low-end flex Lockett and JSN.
So you're ignoring DK.
Flex.
No, DK's a start.
DK's start.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Yeah, DK's a start, dummy. You going to sit DK?
No, I was questioning you, you dumb fuck.
Hey, I'm just saying, if you're gonna question the 6'4", 4'3" speed motherfucker, we need to talk about your NFL. We need to talk about your NFL.
No, we need to talk about your NFL knowledge.
Really? Because mine
with your Baker Mayfield loving ass. Shut the hell up. Anyways, I'm not starting or flexing Lockett.
This is my game of the week. I'm so excited to see the Rams go ahead and take on the Seahawks. I'm so hyped for it. Aren't you guys?
Sure.
I'm just pointing to
Debatable.
a certain...
I'm not excited at all. It's like my least exciting game.
You see that little name? Just it's not going to be a super exciting game for me. Does anyone know the over/under on this game? Do you by chance?
I can look it up.
Vegas, Los Angeles, Rams.
What game?
-5 for the wow. They're giving the Seahawks -5. Over/under is 46.
Yep.
So you're thinking it's going to be a little better.
-5.
You'll take this. You know what?
I'll take the under.
I hate betting against Matthew Stafford because I'm partially a Lions fan and I really did love what he did there, but I may have to bite my tongue here and agree with Austin. I will take Seahawks -5 and I will take
and as we saw last year, Stafford was a different person without Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
So, I would take the Seahawks money line, the under.
If they still had OBJ, I'd have more faith in them, but they don't. So,
yeah, they don't indeed.
All right, now
so we get into a fun game now.
Oh, finally, which one?
Chargers Dolphins.
Ooh,
so many points.
Start Tua, start Tyreek, start Jalen.
Yep.
Now, mind you,
Justin Herbert, fuck that guy.
Do you start Raheem? If you're Ben, you do.
Actually, I do have him as a flex play and starter in my lineup because he will get the most of the work. This is, I think, one of the highest scoring games. They have it at 52 points on the over-under. I think this is going to be a great game for fantasy owners. Tua, start. Herbert, start. Mostert, I will call him a flex because there are better options out there. But he's in a pinch. He's going to do just fine, in my opinion, 10 to 15 points in our league. You know, it's going to be 50 yards on the ground, 5 catches for another 30 yards. Like, it's going to be usable. That's 13 points right there. Austin Eckler's an automatic start. Tyreek Hill, start. Jalen Waddle, definitely a flex. Keenan Allen, I'm going to put as a high-end flex. Mike Williams as another high-end. And then a low-end streamer would be Quentin Johnston.
I was just about to ask you about him.
He's a little of the lower-end streamer. Like, I would rather choose quite a few players over him, but I think this game's going to be a high enough scoring that he's even going to get involved, even if it's just 3 catches and 48 yards. But maybe he gets the touchdown. You know, I think that all around fantasy, like Gerald Everett for the Chargers, start him for tight end.
In desperation.
So here's a question for you.
I mean, yeah.
Because this is a realistic situation. Would you rather start Herbert going into the Dolphins or Kirk Cousins going into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Herbert.
The Bucs' defense is bad.
Yes. But Herbert has the better arm power and more likely to shoot out of a game.
No, leave the door open.
I'm sorry.
And
that's a tough one. I don't know who I like more in that game. I think Cousins.
Really, Cousins over Herbert in this situation. For who would you rather?
I think so.
This week.
I'm going Herbert. Week 1, Herbert.
Herbert's the better quarterback. There's no doubting that.
And I think it's going to be the better game. I think it's going to be way more higher scoring. I don't know if the other one's going to hit over 45 points. This one, I definitely see hitting over 45. And when you're talking high scoring in the NFL, you're talking about fantasy points. Typically, that comes via the quarterback.
Personally, I agree with you, Ben. I'm going to go Justin Herbert.
All right. 2 against 1, Austin. Suck it.
Well, that's fine. I always got to go against Ben.
Well, good. Then I want the Patriots to win this week. So Patriots against Philadelphia. So go ahead. Vote against me.
Nope, I'm agreeing right now.
Oh, see, flip-flopping like a little bitch. I actually heard this could be a trap game. I don't think that's true. I don't think the Super Bowl hangover happens as bad as they think. I will start Ramondre Stevens, though. And that's about it on that end. Like, on the Patriots side, I would, if Stevenson plays.
Ramondre play, because he has an illness right now. If he doesn't, I'm starting Zeke.
Yep.
And flexing Mac Jones.
Oh, bro, I'm so happy I have Ezekiel Elliott right now, bro. Oh, I'm so happy I have Ezekiel Elliott. Watch him just tear apart this Philadelphia defense, that Georgia Bulldog defense. I mean, Philadelphia Eagles defense. Just run them down, just fucking. Oh, and then Ezekiel Elliott becomes a Pro Bowler again, and he starts a Hall of Fame career like he's 22.
No.
Well, I would love it, but I would hate it at the same time.
Why?
Being a Patriots fan, I would love it, but having Ramondre Stevenson, I would hate it. That's why.
Now, on the other side, are you guys excited for any of the running backs? Because, like, we know you're starting Jalen Herbert.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I said Herbert.
Jesus
I'm still
Christ.
stuck on him. Jalen Hurts.
A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith.
I'm
staying away from
names.
I'm staying away from the Eagles running backs until we know.
Would you even consider flexible for DeAndre Swift?
No,
like even low end flex.
Not even a little bit. He didn't have a good camp. He didn't have a good preseason. I'm staying away. We don't know Rashad Penny. Rashad Penny is a good running back. He's just injury riddled as hell.
Okay, I've got it then. Swift or Antonio Gibson?
Antonio.
Wow, it was quick for you.
At least we know what we're getting with Gibson. We don't know what we're getting from Swift.
Yep, that's true.
On a new team, Gibson all day.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Swift or James Cook?
James Cook.
Swift.
Yeah, I'm going Swift on that one.
I'm going James Cook all day.
Oh, that's surprising to me.
How
far down do you have Swift?
Nick Chubb or Swift?
Oh, Chubb. Come on.
Swift all day, baby. Swift all day.
Swift all day. Let's go.
That's so stupid.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I love that.
DeAndre Swift.
That's ridiculous. But I would temper my expectations. I would, if I have him and I had no other better options, I would throw out Swift. Otherwise, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert are all people that I'm seriously playing this week. On the other side, if Ramondre is good to go, him. Otherwise, I'm staying away from all Patriots. Mac Jones, Juju, Parker, Bourne,
outside of
Boutte.
Stevenson, Jones is the only one I'm considering.
I agree.
Maybe Juju if I need wide receiver.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. All right.
And I think Hunter Henry is a serviceable tight end as well.
He could be, yeah.
I think he could. Now, Jets versus Buffalo is going to be an exciting game.
There's a
Question is.
A lot of storylines.
So many. Now, real quick, it does have Bills minus 2.5, and the over-under is set for 45.5. So they expect a relatively decent scoring game, and they expect
wait a moment, guys.
Going to be good. Also, Shane, you need to hydrate. You've gotten a couple and you haven't hydrated.
Oh, shit. Well, before we do that, when is this game being played?
Monday night.
And what day is that?
9/11.
Let's take a moment of silence, boys.
I didn't catch on to that.
And you ruined the moment of silence, Austin.
Jesus Christ.
So, start both quarterbacks, right? Everyone agree with that?
Maybe.
Which one would you sit or flex down?
I would think about Aaron Rodgers depending on who my other quarterbacks are. Right? Aaron Rodgers on opening day typically doesn't do that great. Doesn't do super high.
Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, Desmond Ridder.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, Anthony Richardson.
Aaron Rodgers, you're naming shit quarterbacks.
Okay. Oh, no. I'm going to start getting better. I wanted to see where you're at. Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins.
Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr.
Aaron Rodgers.
Bro,
I knew I was gonna.
Aaron Rodgers up in New York right now, assembling the fucking gauntlet, bro. He's
Aaron Rodgers or Ryan Tannehill. Well, yeah, he's collecting the gems because he's amazing. But Aaron Rodgers or Ryan Tannehill?
Ryan, maybe.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Really?
Are you sure about
maybe? No, I'm not sure about that. I don't know who I'd pick. I don't know who I'd pick in that situation.
Are you sure about that?
I started listening off shitty ones, and then I went up to mid grade, and you're kind of inconsistent here, so you're putting him around the mids.
He's inconsistent at best on week ones, right?
Aaron Rodgers or Kenny Pickett?
I mean, last year week one he was minus -1. He had
Aaron
a
Rodgers
negative
or Brock
points.
Purdy?
Who?
Brock Purdy.
Kenny Pickett. Haha. Jokes on you.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
I do want to throw this out here because Austin does have some legitimacy here. Last year, first week, Minnesota, he had negative 1.3 points. The year before that was against New Orleans. He had negative 2.68 points. The year before that was against Minnesota. He had 43.76. The year before that, he had 14.92 against Chicago. So the last 2 years, he's actually started the season off negative.
Hey, bro, when you coming off a bender like that, when you coming off a bender like that, hey, I need an extra week, coach. I know we're gonna be 0-1.
That DMT.
That's why I'm saying it depends on who my other quarterbacks are on the team.
Hence why I started listing some off, and you were getting me good hours. So he might be your flex down. Now the question is,
Dak flex
crowded. Okay.
One QB, I'm not.
Oh, okay. I can agree with that. Now your running back mate, good old Breece Hall. Him or Dalvin Cook? Who leads this backfield week one?
Week one, Dalvin Cook. I think they're going to slow Breece Hall back. I don't think they're going to rush him back to any kind of significant workload. I think it's probably going to be like a 50-50, 60-40 kind of split in favor of Dalvin Cook. But I don't think any of them was really worth starting. Flexing, yes. Dalvin Cook. Sitting, Breece Hall.
Okay. I love how this is going to be the Cook game. James Cook and Dalvin Cook.
It is kind of cool to see.
Two brothers battling. They're definitely going to swap jerseys after the game and sign them and put them up in their basements together. It's going to be dope for their man cave. Stephon Diggs, I think that's a start.
That's the only reason I want to play in the NFL.
Right, just jersey swaps.
Bro. I don't care if I'm a third-string punter, bro.
Dip out after 1 year just with all these jerseys.
Oh, hell yeah, I would.
And, bro, like, I get them signed and shit, and they're player-worn, so, like, I get to sell them on eBay. I'm set for the rest of my life. I got $1 million for my contract. Bro, I'm good.
Are you guys starting Gabe Davis?
Set.
No. I would low-end flex Gabe Davis.
Yeah,
like, there's a lot of people I would take ahead of him. But I would take Gabe Davis over Alan Lazard.
I would take Dalton Kincaid over Gabe Davis.
Oh, wow.
You don't like Gabe Davis, do you?
So who's the number 2 on this team, Shane, for wide receivers? I swear to God, it's you, Shakir. So you think?
I would love it. Shakir was because he's on my team. He's the number 3 though.
Yeah, he could show out very well, but I mean, either you have a lot of faith in Dalton Kincaid, or you have no faith in Gabe Davis, or a little of both.
I have a lot of faith in Dalton Kincaid, but I also don't think Gabe Davis is that sweet.
And you know what? My father drafted him in the 2nd round, so good job. It was another Trey McBride mess up, so that's good. Because now my father has the number 1 rookie tight end from last year and the number 1 from this year. Like, nicely done. Nicely done, Pops.
He's trying to get tight end heavy, apparently.
Yeah, he's going to build his team through the tight ends.
Hey, you know what? And then, but for the receivers for the Jets, the only one I'm really starting is Garrett Wilson.
That's it.
Are you guys considering like Alan Lazard or?
I would consider Mecole Hardman first because I'd rather have that one play, 57 yards and a touchdown, than the 3 catches for 22 yards that Alan Lazard's going to have.
I think this is just one of those weeks where, like, you see projected points on wide receivers in the Jets room, and you just take your shot on which one you think is going to be the best. And that's what I mean.
Outside of Garrett Wilson, that's kind of what you do.
Hell, there's Randall Cobb, and he is always Aaron Rodgers' favorite. So there could be 5 catches and 38 yards with a touchdown in there for him for some stupid reason. Right. Because
you know that man is 33 years old right now.
Dude, yeah. And I think most of his career he's played with Aaron Rodgers. Like, the dude and him are obsessed together.
He's basically a Frank Gore.
Yep.
He was only away for Rodgers for 2 years. And he went to Dallas and put up like 800 yards, and then he went to Houston and then only put up 441. His last 2 seasons, he actually has a decent amount of receptions for a flex.
Hence why I said you never know. Aaron Rodgers could just decide week 1 he always sucks. Let me just go to the player I know the best through 15 years of history. It's not actually 15 years, but it feels like it.
Okay, so are you guys playing either one of their defenses? Because we haven't really touched on just like the defensive category.
How about we do a top 5 defense this week?
I could be down for that. And you know what?
All right.
The Bills would not make mine.
Nope.
Yeah. I
think I have my top 5 already ready. If you guys don't, I can start mine.
Yep, I'm good to go.
Yep, go. Awesome. You guys go.
Shane, do you want to go first? List your defenses. All right.
Yep.
Are you going to do number 5 first or number 1 first?
Let's do number 5 first.
All right.
I'm going to go ahead and put Washington Commanders at number 5.
Commanders are 5.
I was going to put out number 1, but okay.
So then, after Commanders, I'm going to go Dallas at number 4.
Okay.
I'm going to go Steelers number 3, San Francisco number 2, and number 1, drum roll, please.
No drum roll for you.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, the fuck you did not. You left off. List your 5 again. I want to make sure I heard it correctly.
Commanders. Cowboys.
Okay.
Steelers. Niners.
Okay.
Jaguars. You know why, Jaguars?
Why, bitch?
You're playing against AR-15 week 1, and it's a good defense. We're not talking about talent level of like how good these teams' defenses are. We're
how
talking
much
about
they're going to
points.
score this week. Yeah.
That's why the Commanders squeak into my top 5. You know, what teams do I think are going to have the most turnovers at sacks?
Yep, exactly. That's why I'm surprised you forgot one. It's such an easy one. Our lists are very, very little the same. I think we have 2 teams that are the same. Not my number 5, the 49ers. We had that together. Mm-hmm. My number 4, Seahawks.
Seahawks were a bubble for me. They were like 6.
Number 3, the Eagles against the fucking Matt Jones Patriots. Yeah, they're going to get an interception or 2 or a couple fumbles. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens. And then number 1, Commanders. I think Baltimore is going to chew. I might switch Baltimore and the Commanders because I have no faith in CJ Stroud. I think the defense is going to play perfect. You know what? I'm going Baltimore number 1, Commanders number 2, Eagles number 3, Seahawks 4, 49ers 5. I think Baltimore, if I had a shot at their defense, I would go pick them up in a heartbeat. But I don't have a shot, so I'm going to stick with my Commanders. But that's going to be a beautiful, beautiful game.
Jesus.
What about you, Ozzy?
I'm going San Fran at 5, Cowboys at 4, Jags at 3, Ravens at 2, Washington at 1.
No Steelers, though. That's crazy.
No, it's not that. It's just, I think they're going to get a few sacks. I think they're going to get a few sacks, maybe an interception or 2, and that's all they really need to be a top defense. Week 1.
Okay. So the fantasy points projected on Sleeper, 4 out of my 5 were the top teams. So Washington, Baltimore, Jacksonville, Philadelphia, and San Francisco are their top 5 teams.
Well,
my 6th team. Right. I'm just saying. But Seattle was number 6, and I had them higher. So I had Jacksonville drop down. So that's my only flip-flop. I wouldn't be surprised if this is how it turns out, honestly. I think Philadelphia and Baltimore are just going to surprise and just go off. If I had a chance, I'd take them, but I will never, anyone out there, never trade for a defense. It is the stupidest thing you can do.
Unless it's straight up defense for defense.
Right, unless it's straight up defense for defense. Or
you trying to find a roster spot.
Now, the only...
I prefer just to stream defenses if I can.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
But the Patriots might be an exception for me to hold them the whole year.
Right. The only thing is if you have the number 1 defense, yes, it does make a difference in fantasy points just a little bit, but not enough to justify trading for it. So it's never just stream them, in my opinion.
Like for me, it's going to be probably the Patriots the whole way, except for the bye week.
Is that because of last year they were number 1 or some shit?
Hey, listen, the past 2 out of 3 years they were top 2, so might as well. There's no other defense I really want to grab right now.
That's why I hold on to the Steelers, bro.
I don't blame you. There's no one I want to drop for a different defense, and I don't want to drop this Patriots defense. So,
right. Well, on our waiver wire right now, the most exciting players are defense. There's
to be expected.
I mean, Gus Edwards, if someone wants a handcuff, I might, but it's not long term, so I'm keeping my team long term only. Now, Austin, would you rather wow, my brain didn't want to work there. Would you like to do some would you rathers, or should we save that for another episode, or go live like before the football games and do that?
Would you rather for what in terms of this week?
Yeah, players. Just
sure. Let's do them. Say them. Me and Shane will answer.
Oof. Well, now I got to think of some good would you rathers.
That's the whole point of the game.
But you don't even know the rule?
Honestly, Austin is the one who typically comes up with all of them and writes them out first. So,
do you want me to do? I got a game we can do real quick.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so it's going to be. All right, you're going to be building a team: 2 quarterbacks, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. off of randomly generated teams, right? So I'm gonna give you a team, and you got to say from that team what quarterback, what receiver, what running back you'd want. Okay.
Let me bring my notes up. So I need one QB,
one QB, two
Wait,
running
could you do
backs.
it on? Could you stream
RB.
it to the Riverside?
No, because I'm on my laptop.
RB,
Oh shit!
and then 3 wide receivers. All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And a tight end.
Do this.
We'll throw a tight end and defense on there.
QB, RB,
defense.
Wide receiver.
I like. Oh, I know. It's like that TikTok trend where they have the random thing over their head, and then boom, they have to choose a player. I laugh at some of them because some of them
same kind of concept.
Okay, let's do it. I'm totally in.
All right, first team, Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
All right. Are y'all keeping track? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
Now, is this for week 1 or just overall season?
No, just overall. Like, it's
okay,
not
perfect. Yeah, Mahomes, easy. That's hands down. Why wouldn't you take Mahomes, Shane? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Because Kelsey technically has better point production on his position.
All right, Chargers.
Right there. Boom. Justin Herbert.
Eckler.
No, sir. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Rams.
I mean, that's...
What was it?
Rams.
Cup.
Rams?
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh.
Dude, it's Cup.
Yeah,
it's Cup.
I was about to say Cooper Cup.
Saints.
Kamara?
Kamara's not a bad one. Saints, Olave.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going, Olave. Because I want to keep that running back open still.
Redskins. Or Commanders.
Commanders defense.
Sir? What the fuck did you just say to me?
Got him.
I said nothing.
I'll take Commanders defense all year. I like their defensive talent.
Me too.
All right. Dolphins.
Tyreek.
Give me Tyreek Hill, please.
Oh, I'm down to a running back and a tight end. What are you down to? 2 wide receivers?
A wide receiver, a running back, and QB.
Wait, how do you have 3 left and I only have 2?
What? Is
1
it 2
QB, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 defense, 2 running backs, 1 quarterback.
1 QB? 1 QB?
Yeah.
Then I don't have a second QB. Cool. That's fine.
Okay. There we go. All right. So we both have a running back, wide receiver left?
Yep.
Oh, this will be interesting.
All right.
He's thinking of a devious fucking team knowing that we have shit.
The Steelers.
Wait, who do you guys both have?
We both need a running back and a wide receiver, you dick. Nope, sorry. Running back, and I need a tight end. So you're not going to go any tight end loving teams. I already know it.
Shane, what do you need?
I need running back, wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
He's going to give me a shit tight end.
It's random, so I'm spinning the wheel. I'm waiting for it to spin.
This is going to be great.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
Oh, nothing. Cardinals.
You respun it. You fucking
I did it. I swear to God.
bitch.
Marquise
Who?
Marquise
Shane
Brown.
took Marquise. Who are you taking, Ben?
Zach Ertz.
All right,
I
Ben,
knew you were going to
running
fuck
back.
me. No.
Shane,
I
you need
don't.
what?
Running back.
Oh, you both need running back. Okay.
Nope.
All
I
right.
need wide receiver. Go fuck yourself.
What does the wheel say?
Guys, you keep spinning it for the worst
Yeah,
team.
right?
Smash the shit out of
Goblin
that
mode activated.
button.
Fucking chose the...
You could have picked someone different. You could have chose James Conner.
No. Horrible running back.
All right, Eagles.
You little
The wheel
fucking
said.
bitch.
I told you could have picked James Conner. Listen, the
You know,
wheel
I will
spoke it.
take DeAndre Swift. And I
All
will
right, cool.
take him confidently.
You could have more confidently took James Conner and then Dallas Goedert.
I'm taking Rashad Penny.
Got it. Really, Penny?
Yes, sir.
Well, no one knows what that RB looks like, so I mean, I don't hate it.
I do. I hate it.
I don't love it.
All right, so
All
here's my team.
What are you guys?
Justin Herbert, Alvin Kamara, Rashad Penny, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown, Kelsey, and the Commanders' defense.
You definitely have a tight end advantage over me. That's for sure.
Yeah, bro, that's what I was saying, dog.
But
Patty
I have
that much above Herbert, bro.
Massive tight end advantage.
Are you kidding me? Mahomes versus. Well, here let's see. Stats.
What about this week? How about this season? How's Mahomes playing this season?
List your
team,
season? Ben. List your team. Then you can argue about stats.
Oh, okay. Mahomes, Eckler, Swift, Cooper Kupp, Chris Olave, Tyreek Hill, Zach Ertz, Commanders defense. Now let's see the point difference.
I appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget.
I just want to point this out.
Subscribe.
Mahomes, 536 points last season. Where is Herbert? 318? That is 220 points. That is more than Kelsey versus Ertz. Sorry. That's me.
Is it, though?
Yeah. 318 versus 536. Whereas,
I'm checking.
Let's go. Now. Kelsey had 345, and Zach Ertz is way down here.
Wait, did Justin Herbert
at 120? So 120 versus 345. Also 220. Wow, it's the same.
Bro,
what
are you even listening to what I'm saying, or like, no?
All right, what are you saying?
Like, didn't Justin Herbert miss like 2 games last season too, though?
That I'm not entirely sure about.
I thought he missed at least 2 halves.
It looks like he played 17 games last season.
Okay. But
I know Zach Ertz did not play a full season, so that should help me, right? Because he only played 10 games. So I'm just saying, healthy, he might have done better.
Maybe.
I mean, it couldn't have been much worse than 120 points. It was literally 400 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Kelsey was worth 143 more points than Ertz was. And I think that
123. What are you talking about?
Oh, I was looking at like overall sources. I wasn't just looking at our league.
Oh, I was looking at just our league because that's the league we play in.
Yeah, but you can't just do that.
Well, in that case, my guy had 7 games off. That's called early retirement, and he enjoyed life more. So fuck your Kelsey. That's all I got to say. That's easy. Did chat want to mention which team is better? Do we want to post our teams?
Here we go. Okay. Chase Claypool going to have minus 10 fantasy points. I can see it. Washington defense will be gassed by midseason. Too much time on the field. Yeah, we're talking about this week mostly. Jags defense isn't even top 10, dude. Ravens will be tough on defense. We were talking about Jags defense being a top scorer this week exclusively. We weren't saying that the Jaguars are going to be dynamic. They're a good defense, though. They are a good group.
They're going to be decent, especially against my shit team.
Yeah.
The Colts suck.
They're going against a rookie quarterback. Like, yeah. Steelers defense is top 5. Austin owes 50 push-ups.
Austin, get them push-ups ready, baby.
I don't owe shit.
Now, shit. So, Austin, out of both teams, what do you think? Who do you think the edge goes to since you're the moderator?
All right, Shane, say your team again.
Herbert, Kamara, Penny, Kupp, Hill, Brown, Kelsey, Commanders.
Ben?
Mahomes, Eckler, Swift, Kupp, Olave, Hill, Ertz, Commanders.
I mean, you guys both have a shit
Very
running
close.
back and a shit tight end, so it's like
not shit tight end, defense. Because his tight end is Travis Kelce.
And your shit tight end is Zach Ertz. His shit running back is Penny.
Yeah.
But then you also picked DeAndre Swift, didn't you?
Yeah, I chose Swift. So he had
Kamara
and Penny. I had Eckler and Swift. Wide receivers are better. List your wide receivers again. Hold on. List your receivers
Thanks a lot,
again.
guys. Thanks a lot,
That
guys,
is
for watching.
wild. You gave dude. I had the better wide receivers and quarterback.
He ruled. He already said it.
Biased.
He's not biased.
Biased of what?
Because of our friendship. You're biased to me. You don't want me to win because you already hate the fact that I'm a winner.
I'm neutral.
Period.
I'm fucking.
No, you're not.
Sweden right.
You're not neutral. You know, right here, you're always saying "fuck Ben."
I'm fucking Sweden right now. All right. I'm neutral as shit.
Okay, then let's list the wide receivers again and see which one has the better wide receiver room. Shane, go ahead.
Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Marquise Brown.
Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill. We have the same. So it's Marquise Brown or Chris Olave.
You don't need to yell into the mic, Ben. I know you're hungry, but don't fucking eat it.
How are you going to give it to him?
Why? Because I like his tight end and his other running backs more.
Swift and Penny both sucked, both injury prone. So that's a toss up. That's a wash. Eckler, Kamara, about the same, both elite. Mahomes, Herbert, both pretty elite. Mahomes has a step. Ertz, Kelsey, definitely Kelsey.
Why is Ben in my Twitch chat saying his team's better than Shane's team? He said better than Shane's in my Twitch chat like he was just a chatter. He's like saying, yeah, Ben's right.
Yeah, goddamn right. You got to pump yourself up.
If Ben's not always right, then he's upset.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I was made for greatness, baby.
So are we ready to call this one?
Yes, go ahead. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Give the follow over to Derpamation on Twitch. We live stream there often, so if you want to interact with us, especially while we're doing podcasts, we do read it. We do interact. It's awesome. Join the Facebook. We've been getting a lot of people on there. Join the Discord. Hop in and talk with us. That's always a cool thing to do. Gloves up, guns down. New pod is out, which is awesome. Go follow that as well.
No.
We out.
All right, Shane, send us out.
Such a bitch.
Oh,
you're such a bitch.
Come on. Oh, shit. Cheers, boys.